Welcome to our deep dive, brought to you by Revival Waves of Glory Ministries and Bill Vincent. We often think about the end of the world as this huge, loud explosion. But what if it's not like that at all? What if it's quiet? Today, we're jumping into the gritty, post-apocalyptic world of Bill Vincent's novel, The End Times, to really figure out what survival costs when everything you know has just disappeared.
And this line right here, this sets the stage for the entire story. Forget all the Hollywood fireworks and massive explosions. This apocalypse was a slow burn, a silent collapse. And honestly, the idea that society could just fade away, that's what makes this so incredibly chilling.
So, here's the journey we're going to take today. We'll start with that whisper that shattered the world. Then, we'll follow our hero's insane escape from the city. We'll see a shaky new alliance form, face down the dangers on the open road, and finally, we'll reach a place called Sanctuary, a place that promises safety, but might cost them everything.
All right, let's set the scene. Our story kicks off 6 months after it all fell apart. The world as we know it, it's gone. Just a ruin. And this isn't just about starting a new chapter. The book makes it feel like this could be the final chapter for all of us.
So, what was the catalyst? It wasn't a war, not a meteor. It was a plague they call the cleansing. Just imagine a disease that you can't see, that spreads without a sound. It starts as a story on the news, and before you know it, it's completely hollowed out society from the inside. That's the world our survivors have been left with.
And into this absolute chaos steps our main guy, Daniel Warden. Now, he's a military vet, so he's got the skills, he knows how to handle himself, but on the inside, he's been gutted. He lost his family to the cleansing. So all that's left driving him is one single primal instinct: just survive.
The picture the book paints is, well, it's bleak. The skies are just this permanent gray canvas of smoke and ash. Government, the rule of law, grocery stores, all that stuff we take for granted. It's just a memory. Now, the only thing that matters is your next meal, your next breath, your next step.
So, this new reality really forces Daniel's hand. He knows, deep down, that staying put in his apartment is basically a death sentence. The city is a powder keg, and the second he steps outside, every single street, every alley, it's a war zone.
And his escape isn't just some mad dash, oh no. It's this terrifying, calculated series of moves. It kicks off with the sound of shattering glass. Looters are in his building. That forces him out onto the streets, which are just filled with fire and screaming. He has to dodge, not just desperate people, but actual organized gangs that have carved out their own territory. And it all leads to this brutal life-or-death showdown in an old trashed grocery store.
That ambush in the grocery store, it becomes a defining moment for him. He's trapped by 3 looters, and he knows it's either him or them. And what happens next, it's not heroic, it's not cool, it's just brutal, ugly, and necessary. This is the first hard lesson of this new world: survival is a zero-sum game. For him to keep breathing, they had to stop.
So Daniel makes it out of the city's inferno, but now he's facing a totally different kind of problem. A huge question, really. His own skills got him this far, but can he keep that up? Is it really safer to be a lone wolf out there? Or is it finally time to take a massive risk and trust another person?
And then, in the crumbling shell of an old church, he meets Sarah. She's just as tough and just as cautious as he is. She sees the same thing he does, that being alone out here is a death wish. So she makes him an offer, plain and simple. Join up with her and her group. Strength in numbers.
This is the ultimate dilemma, isn't it? If you go it alone, you've got total freedom, no one to slow you down, and more importantly, no one to stab you in the back. But you're also a sitting duck. A group, on the other hand, means you might be safer, you've got people to watch your back, but every new face is a potential threat, a risk of betrayal. What would you do? It's a tough one. For more great content like this, be sure to visit revivalwavesofgloryministries.com.
Well, Daniel decides to take the gamble. He joins Sarah's group. But what they're about to find out is that escaping this city wasn't the final test. Not by a long shot. In a lot of ways, their nightmare was just getting started.
And man, things escalate. And they escalate fast. Almost right away, they find fresh tracks, that chilling realization that someone is watching them. A day later, bam, they're ambushed by scavengers. And it's not a random encounter. These guys were hunting them. Then, even when they find a place to hide from a storm, they realize the biggest threat is already inside the house with them. There's just no letting up.
You see, that scavenger ambush was a real wake-up call. They realized these aren't the same desperate looters from the city. No, these are people who have adapted to the wasteland. They've become predators. The group wasn't just found, they were stalked. And that drives home a cold, hard truth about this new world.
Out here, you're either a hunter or you are the hunted.
After barely making it through all that, the group finally lays eyes on their destination, a fortified town called Sanctuary. And from a distance, it looks like salvation. You know, high walls, guards on patrol, the promise of a hot meal. But the second they step inside those gates, that feeling of relief just evaporates. It feels oppressive. So the question becomes, is this really a safe haven, or is it just a prettier cage?
And every cage has a warden. In this one, his name is Marcus. He's the leader, and he's got it all. The charisma, the confidence, he's smooth, but you can feel that underneath all that, there's a mind like a steel trap. In Sanctuary, what Marcus says goes. His rule isn't a suggestion, it is absolute law.
And you see the dark side of this so-called paradise almost immediately in the rules. And they are strict. There's a sundown curfew. You have to turn in all your weapons. You don't pick your job, it's assigned to you. And speaking up against the rules, yeah, that's not tolerated. The punishment for breaking these rules is getting thrown back out into the wasteland, or something much, much worse.
This one quote from Marcus, it tells you everything you need to know about him. When he's challenged on who gets to decide what sacrifices are for the greater good, his answer is just chilling. I do. In his mind, total control is the only way to guarantee survival, and he's decided that he's the one who gets to choose what everyone else has to give up.
And this brings us right back to the central burning question of the whole story. After everything they've been through, the chaos, the violence, the constant fear, is the safety that Sanctuary offers worth giving up your freedom? In a world that's completely shattered, is a gilded cage still a cage? It's a question that really forces you to think about what it truly means to survive. To learn more, check out the amazing work being done at revivalwavesofgloryministries.com. Thank you for listening to the Deep Dive Podcast.